Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, where various black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G. Today we got Adam.
Yo.
And we got James.
Don't talk to me.
With that being said, make sure to go ahead and go check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description podcast over there on YouTube. Also, if you want to check out the audio form of the podcast, check the links down below. And just know we are on Instagram. I am going to start working on that. And we do have a Patreon. I don't really work on it like that, but as we grow, as we build, I will start working on the Patreon. So I'll just so y'all know. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the podcast.
And I mean, I believe that's a lot of people right now too, but it's just kind of hard just to be like, well, this person, whoever ends up in the credit view, they don't necessarily have your back. They're looking for the betterment of all people. It's just they're looking for the betterment of certain people. And that's just what it seems like. Truth be told, for me personally, that's how I view it. And I have a disinterest in a lot of these in the politics coming up and voting, but going to vote, I guess. And I would vote Republican. Even though I am a Republican, I vote Democrat too sometimes, but I don't think I even voted with for Biden, and not before Biden, excuse me, but when it was the presidency for Biden and Trump, I was just disinterested in the whole entire thing.
Okay, so you keep talking about policy.
Oh no! Right now, I was talking about how I've been disinterested in that.
No, I know, no, I'm saying, but you keep bringing up policy.
Yeah, because it's I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, so but you said you would probably vote for Trump. That's who you're likely to vote for?
Well, yeah, I probably would.
Then I guess my question is what makes you want to vote for Trump?
Yeah, like I said, I haven't been paying that much attention to everything like this go around and everything. I've just been losing interest. I guess you can see my whole thing about it is just that um I was just saying that I really lost interest in it. I don't like that. Some of the things I've been seeing this year slash last year, stuff that was going on with Texas, the border, trying to prevent people from coming in, making sure that we ourselves, we're trying to maintain, the country, better the citizens that are already here, instead of having more people come in. I'm not even saying anything about, jobs. I'm not saying stuff about that. I'm just saying like general, like what do they call it? The life of living. I forget what they call it. But I just dislike it. I feel like Biden hasn't done a good job in making the American people happy. I guess you can say, for lack of better words, or improving situations here within the country, in my opinion. I feel like, he's been more so involved with situations that's been happening over in other countries, providing a lot more support than what normally should be given for other countries. Um, Welcoming in multiple individuals from other countries. And I get it that regardless of people coming in or staying out, that, you know, you never know who's coming in the country, especially for the people who come in illegally and don't have them documented. And the same thing could be said that even when Trump was in office, people came over and they, did shit over here. But I guess let's just say that the media is putting more of an emphasis on it now, since this whole open border policy thing, or whatever you want to call it, has been happening, and they've been putting more on that emphasis on it. So I guess you can say that it gives you an skewed view on how things are with that happening. But I I don't. I feel like policy aside at this point in speaking, that I just have had it up, had enough of Biden's administration. I know he's out of it now, but I also didn't like the fact that we do have a president that was as old as he was, that was not, I don't want to say not confident. That's not the word I'm looking for. Not competent in the views of the people or in the eyes of the people. I understand with age issues and everything like that. I really do. I get that. But at the same time, you should know when you can't operate to the full capacity that the American people need you to operate at as being the chief and commander, and for the administration to continuously push them to keep going forward, although let's just be honest, maybe some people did, some people did, but the issue of the matter is that when these situations have been coming, they should have gone ahead and been like, okay, we need to think about, you know, getting somebody else in office to take over, maybe him resigning earlier than what he did. It took for him to get COVID for him slash the administration to be like, okay, maybe you should resign, because
Well, Biden did
now you're
say,
sick.
well, Biden did say if he was to get sick, if he was to catch something, he would drop out. That is something he did say.
Yeah, now. I mean, he was supposed to have
Well,
there
he
was
well
a thing.
from what James says, and I heard it too. He said that like a week ago. So
Well, he was supposed to have been dropped out because there was another statement that he made some time ago talking about that if he felt like he didn't have capacity to be the president. This was some time ago. And that, he was thinking about dropping out because of that, because of all the situations that he was having. And then come turn around, he sends a letter out, I think not once, but twice, two separate times, that he decided he wasn't going to resign. He was going to stay or he wasn't going to step down. So, you know, I, I really feel, oh, not feel, no, I do. I feel like the president, the people in his administration, although they did support him, they supported him for too long, knowing the situation that he was in. He couldn't remember certain things, and even with the teleprompter right there, he went off speech most of the time. He basically made himself not himself. No, himself in capacity because of that. The United States looked weaker than what it is. Looked like he didn't know what he was doing. Looked like it was a lot. It was a lot, especially in politics in a dog eat dog world. I just really think that they should have they should have did what was better, not just for him, but for the country. You're in charge of a whole country. You're here to make sure that everything goes smoothly. And although you can resist certain things and try and fight it and wait to see if things get better, this went on for way too long.
or
I
you're trying to
mean,
break
for
up a little
fuck's
bit.
sake.
We're trying to break up just a touch.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, I was just saying for sake, it's like, it's damn near like it is time to re-election. Oh, I'm gonna drop off now. What the good does that do? And then on top of that, you know, uh, things that a president puts into office or puts into play, they don't take effect, always take effect immediately or while they're in office. It takes a while. So normally what happens is when you go into office, and the next person goes into office, you know, that's when you see the actual like things that the previous president started putting into play actually start taking effect. And sometimes they think that's the current president that did it, that made so everything that's happening, but that's not the case. Like a lot of things that Obama did took place when, not not the first term, but during the second term. A lot of things that Obama did in his second term took effect or started showing when Trump came into office. And then vice versa. A lot of things that Trump did, although a lot of them it's hard to say with Trump, but with the things that he did do, I would say that a good amount of them also took place when Biden came into office. So it's kind of like setting up the president coming in, not in a negative way, setting them up, but more so like, the policies and everything going in place. Kind of like, yeah, it's happening now for some people, but it's not really happening because it's time to take place because it's happening all over. So yeah, that's how I do. I try to do that. And yeah, I'll
Okay.
stop talking because I'm starting to jump to different subjects.
Well, my fault. I'm just reading this right now. It's looking like a lot more people are. A couple of people are coming out endorsing Kamala now.
Well, that's good.
So
I know
yeah.
Brittany was telling me that she's going to need all the support and endorsement that she can get.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said, I know Brittany was telling me that she's going to need all the endorsements and support that she can get because, effectively, even though she said that she was what Jamaican and
She's
what she said
yeah,
Chinese,
no. She's
see,
half.
look, it's going back and forth. I really don't give a what she is. She can be black and blue or white and two Timbuktu for all I care.
Well, I mean, it matters because most likely she's going to try to run on the black vote.
Yeah, I mean, I bet you she is. All Democrats usually try to do that, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be there trying to, pass things that would support that the black vote in general. It's just kind of like saying the whole thing with student loans. Oh, I promise that this is what we're gonna do, and yeah, no, that's just something to get people riled up to be like, I'm gonna vote for them because they said they're gonna get or try to make this happen. Same thing with the whole reparations. I want to vote for this person because they said this. If they can bank on that, that's something that they know that people won't, and that's a big issue in the African American community, or the Black community in general. So it's just like, yeah, people really know how people feel about this. So I don't. I'm not saying that I don't believe it, but what I'm saying is I believe that you're saying this, but I full heartedly believe that it's not going to happen. No matter what you say or think that you're going to do, that's going to change it. You're working against a bunch of Caucasian members in Congress that are old and things go a certain type of way. Just like when they have their people that they're raising up, so that way they're going to replace themselves with the people that they're grooming for the position. Their thoughts and what they believe fall in line with them, which is why they're grooming them in the first place. Sometimes, yeah, people pretend because they want to be put in this position to make change, but you know, with the support that you're getting and the other individuals who give the support to you, now you know how politics are. You can't go against the people that was just there for you because, yeah, if you was planning on making this a career, it's going to be a short-lived career if you do that.
Well, basically what you're saying, and this is what I'm guessing is, I mean, at least in my opinion, people go into the politics for the right reason, but once they get in there, they realize how messy it is, and if they get what they want, they have to concede and make deals.
Yes and no. That's one part of what I'm saying, but the other part of what I'm saying is they know that they can say this or try and make these promises, even though they
They
know
won't
that
keep
there's
the
no
they
way
won't
that
keep
it
the
can
word.
happen.
Yeah, they can't keep the word.
Yeah, because they know.
Yeah.
They know. I'm not in politics, and I know the people in politics. They know. They know how politics works, the ins and outs, the kickbacks, and everything that goes with that. Just everything about it. That's their job as politics. I'm sorry, not politics. As working in that area. They know what's going on. And for the people that don't, like the people who are new, and they're put in as an understudy, working within this person's district, they learn how things are. They learn how things work. They know who they talk to, they know who's in who's I don't want to say pocket because that's getting to a whole separate area, but they know who's like, if I vote this, I know so and so is voting this too, and this is who I normally go to if I need things. I can talk to this person. I know what it is, and we're going to be in the same wavelength because we piggyback off of each other pretty much in the way, So that's just on that level, the Senate. Um, what's that area called in Washington? It's not Mission Hill. What is it? It's the The Hill? No, I'm thinking of Capitol Hill, but they also call it something else. Um, oh well, but basically, all in all, to make everything short, if I know that you are, poor, or you feel like you've been wronged, your ancestors have been wronged, and you feel like nothing's been done to make it right. If I come if I make you a promise that I'm going to do my best to try, or I think that attention wrong, people are still suffering. They haven't got back their apologies, reparations. I'm getting you like, oh, this person understands me because they're saying, what's basically in line with what you want to hear, knowing how you feel, and that's trying to get your vote. They already know behind the scenes that no matter what they just said, it sounds good, but it's not going to get passed for the reasons of the people in the Senate. They know that they're not going to pass this. One, because they could be, and most of them are in a way good old boys. And then two, can you imagine what would happen if all of a sudden one person said that they was going to pay back a good percentage of the country's peoples who are descended of slaves, all this money? I'm not even talking about what they're going to do if they're going to spend it. I'm just saying they're taking it from the country to give to certain individuals. When you give that money to those certain individuals, and I believe we had that talk about it before, but when you give that money to certain individuals, one, all that money's coming from the country, and that's I don't believe it's going to be enough, or it's not going to be within budget. Or even if it is in budget, it's going to take a long time for that to happen, and by the time it almost or is nearing to happen, let's just say another person comes in, somebody comes in, they cancel that. Now you're not getting that money. That's one. Two, it's putting a target on you as a person, knowing that you're getting special treatment, regardless of what happened in the past and if it's reserved or not. You got this money. You're getting this money. Other individuals who may be in the same boat as you, but are white counterparts, our Asian counterparts, whatever, our Mexican counterparts, they're not getting this money. Now they're going to be pissed the fuck off at you and other people in that race, and it's going to cause issues. It's going to cause fights. It's going to cause murders and everything like that. That's another reason, regardless of whoever in the past and whatever races in the past may have gotten paid money for this or for these situations that have happened, which they have. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, at this point, I will say politics is a mess. I am pretty much tired of, for different reasons. I'm definitely have my issues with both sides. Absolutely. I do think, I don't know, because James basically said that, and again, I don't know if I fully agree when he says Trump is too far ahead, because again, I still believe that if they run Michelle, I think Trump will lose that election, because I think people still are attached to Obama. And that's just kind of basically how I feel, is that I don't think that there I don't think it's a I think everybody else, anybody else who's gonna run, in my personal opinion, is just kind of up in the air. That's just how, I just think that's what I think. But I think your best chance is to rerun Michelle Obama. I think there is something interesting if you're gonna run Kamala with like maybe a Hillary vice president, because you may get the women's vote of, oh yeah, we're gonna have two women in office, so that may do something. And then Newsom, I think, has a chance, as long as Republicans don't challenge him on the correct areas and don't do the proper arguments. Because we also talk about age, and and then, I mean even Trump is up there too. People forget about that. Trump ain't a young guy either.
No, he isn't. Wasn't he the oldest president before Biden?
He was what?
Wasn't he the oldest president before Biden?
Before, but I think
I could be wrong, but I thought he was.
I could have sworn he was the top three. I think he's in the top three. I don't know if he's number
Oh,
one,
okay.
Because I think Biden's actually the oldest. I want to say Biden's the oldest.
Yeah, he is the oldest now, but before Biden was the oldest, before him, when he was president, that's why I thought he was old. But I mean, regardless of Trump being old, I get it. You know that Biden. What I mean by the old level is I don't mean that oh, you're old, you can't be the president, but we've seen the decline in Biden from when he was running to now. That's a 4 year decline. And I get that stress and other things have to deal with that, but that's a significant decline to where he's at right now to where he was the previous 4 years. Okay, I was saying that what did I say?
Okay. To answer your question, Ronald Reagan is the second. So it goes Biden, Ronald Reagan, and Trump.
Okay, and all I'm saying is that when Trump ran, his faculty didn't decline. That's not what happened with him. Biden ran, his faculties declined. It was visible for everybody to see.
Well,
It wasn't
remember,
him that.
but people forget that when Biden was running, he didn't even campaign for like majority of his he didn't Biden didn't campaign for the majority. Biden did not campaign the majority of the time. A lot of people don't remember that. He only really
I don't
campaigned right at
remember
the
that.
end. Yeah,
I don't remember.
yeah, because like he basically just you didn't hear from him. Then at the end he came. I mean my fault. You didn't hear from him, and then at the end, he finally started campaigning. But yeah, before that, yeah, no, that dude for like what is it? Like the first couple of months, yeah, he didn't campaign at all.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that,
Yeah.
but I
I
mean,
mean, he did, but like majority of the time, like when Trump was out there campaigning, he didn't do that at all. He just kind of sat down.
his
And
faculties
and
have
and,
declined to where they are now. So
and that's the thing too that people would say, which is a good point, and even I heard it from people, was and this is one of the people this is some of the people's argument that nobody voted for Biden, they just voted against Trump.
okay, I believe that. I truly believe that, and but that goes into what I was saying. But my field of it wasn't the same as it was as it is now. That's why I was just like, well, what are the policies? Because I was the same way. Like I was saying earlier, I didn't like the way that Trump handled things or how he said things. Like he was culturally insensitive, and he wasn't. As the president, you have to understand the cultures of the people who you represent and where you're going in different nations.
Okay,
And
wait,
I felt
sorry, I got to ask you this question. I mean, you keep asking for policy. You should know the policies. Do you know any policies?
about which one.
Anybody, because if you're like,
No,
you
no,
see,
I don't. But that's what I said. I said I haven't been following it. But
yeah,
what I
so
was replying was,
well, no. The reason why I
oh,
brought that up, I mean, I just want to say this. The reason why I brought that up because I just think that it's unfair and kind of disingenuous to tell people, "Do you know the policies?" when you don't know the policy, and you already making your stance without knowing the policy. What I'm saying is,
well, wait,
in
I'm
my
not
opinion,
making.
no, in my opinion, you can't really criticize somebody not knowing the policies if you're not gonna do the work. At least know a little bit about the policies yourself.
No, I'm not criticizing the people who don't know about it. I'm asking because I'm asking because I don't know, and that's what I
Yeah,
was telling Brittany too. I told her I don't know, so that's why I'm asking you because if you know, I want you to tell me so I can know because I don't know. I
yeah,
haven't been able to look it up. I've been way too busy to look up anything.
yeah,
So when I ask, it's not me asking the judge. It's me asking so I know because and I stated it too. Like I don't know. I don't know the policies. The only reason why I'm saying I'm doing this is pretty much the same reason that you said right now, which is like the same thing with Trump. People voted against Trump just because they was voting against him. I said I did the same thing, and I didn't vote, but I was against him because I thought he was culturally insensitive, and I thought that was wrong of him for a president of our country as well as a representative going to other countries. And I know normally you have like a person who specializes in the cultural area of different countries and everything that inform you of how procedures go and introducing and things of that nature. That I get. That's what their job is. But it was just like he was, and I didn't know him in that light. We just knew Trump as like Trump is the celebrity, everything that he done, celebrity life. And then when he's a president, you see him in a different light, whether that was his true self or whether that's just, how he dealt with it because it was more business like for him than anything else. So I don't know. I just know that I didn't agree with him and the way he handled things, not just like, oh, it's just one, no, like pretty much almost the whole entire presidency, you know. But I just know that in regards to he did do a lot of things that help support the country, you know, that's what he did do. And I like that. Some of the policies I can't say at this point, but I did do research at the time when he became president the first time. And I read a little bit about that. But right now, I can't. I don't know the policies on the Republican side. I don't know the policies on the Democratic side. I haven't done the research because I'm just literally way too busy. I feel like from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, I'm writing reports, I'm learning something. So about school and my job that I'm trying to do. So I really have no time to even when I drive, I listen to audibles about different techniques and everything. So I literally, when I say I haven't done any research, I don't have time to do it. For me personally, I literally mean just that. So that's why when I ask, I'm not trying to ask in a type of way that's trying to say, well, what are the policies? And like, well, how are you voting for the session? You know the policies. But no, I'm just
basically, that you're asking in a way where it's like I don't know the policy, so let me know the policy that I can make my own decision, basically.
yes.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. Because I mean, it just sounds like when I hear you talk, it sounds like you're just saying like, it depends on how you ask it. But yeah, the way you ask it, okay, if you don't know, then that's fine. But you kind of like try and challenge people on like, you should kind of know the policies, but it's hard to say that when you don't even know the policies.
Yeah, and then well, Brittany was different because I was just telling her she was the one who brought it up to me and she was telling me about this, and that's why I was like, well, what are the policies? Because and I asked her that question when she was telling me that um she doesn't know who she would vote for, but she may vote for um, Pamela, right? Yeah, Pamela. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I didn't really say anything to that, but then she started talking more about it and like more so against Trump. And I was like, well, what are the policies? Because you're just going to vote for her just to vote against Trump. And, what are the policies that she has that makes you want to do that? And, but then again, I was telling her too at another time that, what I was saying earlier was that well, I feel like people are voting for the wrong reason now, which is like just because you don't like the person. But it's like, well, what are the policies that they are trying to implement? Um, is it something that you
You're
can
starting to
agree
get
with
fuzzy
or
again, by
in
the
real
way.
life? Huh?
You're
Fuzzy?
starting, yeah, starting to get fuzzy again.
Can you hear me better now?
A little bit. You sound a little muffled.
Oh, that's because the fan is on. It's hot out
All right.
here. One
Yeah, yeah.
moment.
No, no,
I'm
you
gonna move
sound better.
away
No, you
from the
sound better
fan.
right there. You sound better right there.
Oh, I stood up. But
Okay.
yeah, no, I was just asking her because if you was going to vote against somebody and you're telling me you're voting against them just to vote against them, but for no specific reason, or maybe the specific reason is that you don't like their policies. So, but I was asking that question and I asked it because I was saying that I feel like a lot of people are voting against somebody now just to vote against them. But what if you vote against somebody and their policies are policies that you don't agree with? So which is worse, to vote for someone you don't like, but they have policies you agree with, or to vote for someone you like, but their policies and what they're trying to pass are things that you don't like or against, or it's not better for you.
Are you asking me that question or you just asking?
Oh no, I was stating that that's
Okay,
what I was
okay,
talking to Brittany about. But it is, I guess you can answer that question. It's a general question.
okay. And so, okay, can you repeat the question one more time?
Would you rather vote for someone that you like that that you can look and be like, they, I like her more than I like him. Would you rather vote for Pamela because you like her more than you like Trump, but you don't agree with her policy? So basically, you're only voting for her because you don't want to vote for Trump. Or would you rather vote for Trump even though you don't like him, but you like the policies that he's trying to implement in the United States.
Okay, so I'll answer it this way because this should answer your question with easily. In my personal opinion, you should always vote for your own personal belief system. So whoever is closer to you, what your personal belief system, what you believe, you should vote for. Because I think we'll wind up, I think as a country, as a nation, we'll wind up with way better results if people stop voting just for like people because they're popular and they start voting for things that they agree with and their views. Once you start voting for things that you actually agree with and your views, I think we will have a lot. I think we'll have a lot more healthier voting system. So I will always say vote for people that are closest to your ideology, and that
So
and
what you're
that benefits
saying
you.
is, so what you're saying is, you'd rather vote for someone that you agree that you can agree with their policies, and if you like them.
Yeah, because
Okay.
because yeah, just to go a little bit deeper. Yeah, because it doesn't make sense. Like I could like somebody a lot, but if they're doing, but let's just say, but this is an extreme example. But for example, if I like this person a lot, then they say all the good things, but they talk about bringing back slavery. Person's cool as hell, but you going totally against my ideology.
Okay, yeah. So that's exactly what that is. You'd rather vote for someone that you dislike, but their policies are something you can stand for. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is more of just more closer to my ideology. So I guess you could say that kind of puts me more in the center because yeah, I just
Wait,
vote.
no, it doesn't put you in the center. It puts you, you'd rather vote for the person that you agree that their policies you agree with. Even if you dislike them as a person, you're agreeing with their policies more than the other person because you
Well,
dislike their policies
well,
isn't going to do anything for you. It's going to be slavery.
no. What I mean by, and let me clarify. What I mean by I'm more in the center is because I will only vote for things that fit my ideology and fit the things that benefit me or things I want to be benefited. So that's what I'm saying.
But that sounds like the first one. I'm sorry, second one. You're voting for the person whose policies are going to best better you or your situation.
yeah, either benefit me or closer to my ideology. So the
Yeah.
reason why I say puts me in the middle is because it doesn't matter what side. It's just whoever it best fits me, I'm gonna go for at this
Well,
point.
it does make a side in this specific situation because if you know one person's policies, it's going to make a situation better for you, i.e., they're not trying to implement slavery again, even though you dislike them. You're going to
Well,
vote for him.
not necessarily because you said it best that some people may say the right thing, but when they get into that position, they may not keep their promises. So
That's true, or may not. But initially, you're voting for this person because of what they did promise. Why
that
is he
and more
crying?
likely the ideology. Okay, this is actually I have one more question on this
No.
topic.
Okay.
I have one more question on this topic, and then from there I'll get to the last topic. But I have one more question. So when it comes to the shooter, as you know, the kid was about 20 years old. I'm hearing all I'm hearing all kinds of things about him.
Well, give me a wipe and a diaper. Give me a diaper. Is it over here too? I'm sorry, G.
Um, so this is my question, and it's something I heard on a I heard this question. I want to say like on a news channel. Do you think when you were 20, somebody can convince you to do something like that or something horrible?
How the fuck do I like that? You trying to tell me that because I dislike a person and their policies or whatever they stand for, that you want me to go and kill them because it's a probability that they may become president and then do what?
And remember, I'm talking about when you were 20, not when you're
20,
90.
yeah. I mean, people could convince me to do certain things and talk to me about it, yeah. But you couldn't sit there and convince me to go try and kill a prior president or snipe a prior president. What type of, not even, I won't say fuck that person, but what type of weak mental state do you have to think that you can try and assassinate the president within the area where he's having his speech? One, two. What makes you think that you can get away with trying to assassinate him when you're 20? What was the follow-up plan? What were you planning to do? Obviously, we got caught, so you didn't really think that far
Well,
ahead
I
about shit that
mean,
you would do. I
I mean,
mean, I wouldn't do it at all. I'm just saying, I wouldn't do it at all. Like, even if someone offered me a lot of money, like, oh, da da da. No, no, because one, I don't want to do that. Two, even if people offer me money, I don't know these individuals. That's
well,
like saying that,
again, we're not talking about bribery. We're talking about convincing at that early of
okay,
age as a
then
kid.
just a simple answer, no. You
Yeah.
couldn't convince me, no matter what a person said, that it was the best thing for me to do was go snipe prior president. And just saying, whatever fucking reason may be, however he was convinced, whatever they showed him, like you gotta do is to save America. Yeah, no. First of all, this person wasn't even. I mean, if it was probably a military person with a belief or blah blah blah, they grow up in. Let's just say they grew up in what's the most liberal? Yeah, what's the most liberal state and city in the country?
Uh, probably to be Portland or probably San Francisco.
Liberal.
That is
Okay. What's the
Portland.
word I'm thinking of? I don't mean liberal. What's the other one I'm thinking of?
I don't know. Liberal.
Mm.
I mean libertarian, but I think that's more center. Um,
What would you call what would you call Texas as a state?
what would I call what?
What would you call Texas as a state?
A Texas?
Yeah,
Like
what you call Texas as a state?
like what? Where does it lean? I would say Texas lean conservative.
Okay, even if you get the most conservative state in the world and the state in the country and the most conservative state and city, what would you think that would be?
Uh, conservative city. I would say. I mean, I don't know. I'm city. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, the most conservative state and city you can think of.
I mean, I stayed. I mean, I could think of a couple. I would say
What's number one for you?
number one. I would say
Yeah.
I would say right now would probably be Florida.
Okay.
Right now.
And then the most conservative state in the country is Florida. And then what's the most conservative city in that state?
Oh, and that. Oh, I want to know. I want to know.
Well, let's just say somewhere up north, somewhere down south. Sounds about right.
I don't
And you
know
got
because it's
somebody
it's in the south, like kind of more of a richer area in Florida.
in Florida. I have no idea. I just know whenever you think of South areas, the country, it's more people who are like the old ways and liberty, freedom, gun ho.
You know
It's
what?
my job. It's just a job. But no, okay, well, I was just using that as an example. But let's just say that a person grew up there, most conservative state, conservative city, conservative upbringing, freedom, democracy, or whatever. Um, that this is what it is, gun ho, America,
You know what?
flag for everything.
I'll take that back. I won't say. I would have to say. I would maybe say Texas because I would say Texas is way more known for the Republican leans than Florida.
Okay.
So I'll say Texas. I'll take that back. I'll give it to Texas for now.
All right, so Texas, let's just say Austin, Texas.
Yeah, we can go there. Well, is it? No,
And no, let's go with Arlington. Let's go with King of the Hill.
yeah, Arlington. Okay, yeah, I'm down with that.
And then you get one of the most conservative families. Fucking Hank Hill was something. I
Yeah.
don't know. Because out of all his parents, he's the most conservative person. And then you'd be like, Hank Hill, America needs you. You gotta go assassinate this person and everything. Right? The ex-president is going to become president again. If he does, and he's going to take away your democracy.
Can you speak up a little bit? You're getting lower.
That if someone came to Hank Hill and told him, you know, let's just say he was like 5 times more America, And then he told him, you got to go assassinate this person because we believe you may become president. If he becomes president, then he's going to take away your freedom. Okay. All right. Well, conservative city, conservative state, conservative person, and then in the most conservative way, he's like 5 times more conservative than your average conservative. He'll go ahead and do it. I believe so. No proof needed. You just told him that his country needs him for whatever fucking reason. They kill this person for whatever fucking reason
Hmm.
because it's gonna save democracy and everything. Yeah, we'll do that. That's how I feel like that kid. It's like they got him when he was really like in a weekend moment and everything. If anything, I believe they said that he was denied, he wasn't able to get on the rifle club in the school and a couple other things. So I don't know. He was just pissed off, mad, and he was going to, do anything he could to make him feel better or to make somebody else more in pain. I don't know. I don't know what the fucking reason this kid is, man.
Yeah, and you started to speak low again, just so you know.
Oh, sorry. That's because I'm making you kind of pain, but I don't know. I don't know. He's a white kid, right?
Yeah.
I don't mean to say anything with the race that goes into it, but a lot of these shooters, or how they never want to call them for what they are these the terrorists in our country. There are other race terrorists and races, yeah, but majority of the times when shit happens or it's an issue or whatever, someone gets killed or assassination attempt, what is the primary race of that person? Oh, that was the question.
Oh, was a primary race?
Yeah.
I mean, well, I would say the most known for it is probably white folks.
All right. So I forgot what I was going with this.
I don't know where you're going
I'm
with it
sorry.
either. Like I have no idea where you're going with it. But basically, I'm like, that was my question. That as a 20-year old young man, you don't think that there's no way possible that even over time somebody can't convince you to do something that drastic.
Yeah, no, no, they could
No.
not.
Okay.
No, as 20-year-old me, I knew that, I was down to do a lot of things and everything. I was always gone. I was always, open to trying new things and having fun. And yeah, but I wasn't dumb. I wasn't like, I knew, even for lack of better words, I didn't know what every single thing I did and the consequences would have. But I knew that if I did certain things, no matter what they were, these would be the consequences. I knew if I got drunk and I started driving, I hit somebody, I knew what the consequences would be. I
Yeah.
like too drunk to that point. I knew what would happen if I, decided I wanted to go buy a gun and then shoot at somebody. I knew what the consequences would be. I knew what the consequences would be if I, just, went out and fucked around too much. I knew what the consequences would be from that in itself. So it's like saying that no matter, 20-year-old self who it is, what the consequences of your actions would be. You getting ready to try and assassinate a prior president for whatever the reason may be, you know what the consequences are.
Yeah.
And you may not just care at that time, but when you get caught and all this shit starts to happen, then you care, regardless of whatever the person may say. They care because you're about to be put into like a prison with other people and all this shit could happen to you. You care, you know?
Yeah.
You people you do care. You just have this like pissed off reason that makes no fucking sense to anybody but yourself during that time. And you let all reason go. Even when you get mad, like you get real pissed off at somebody, you still know what the consequences are if you take certain actions against that person, right?
Yeah.
Like regardless of what they could do to you, let's just say you decide to try and hurt them that bad, and they can't retaliate against you, but you know what the consequences are outside of that person, legal consequences that lead to other consequences that may involve prison and life and other things, family. It's a bunch of different consequences in general, but I feel like he knew what he was doing. He knew the consequences. And it's not literally like, oh, he let himself be talking or something. You know, this is what he really wanted to do. He was that mad for whatever the reason may be. This is what he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have no pity. No, no, I don't feel any type of way for this person who decided to do this because that was their own personal decision. Regardless of if he was a group of people who hated, it's like, I hate this, and that. Regardless if he considered himself a Democrat, he was like, I'm going to do this for the betterment of the Democratic Party. Like, no, what the consequences are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But all right. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead because like I said I don't have that much time left. So I'm gonna go ahead and move to the next topic. But before that, I wanted to clarify something from a podcast I said before. I think it was the last episode of the podcast where I was talking about the abortion thing. I want to let everybody know that I'm not saying I'm pro-life or pro-abortion. I was just making a stance more of I was just saying that a lot of us voters can be single issue voters, and we tend to set aside the things that are the most important to us because of one issue instead of caring about their overall stance, basically is what I'm trying to say.
Well, no,
So it's kind of like, using myself as an example where like if somebody was to offer, I know blacks $2 million in reparations, people know I'm pro reparation. I would probably vote somebody like that in, but he could probably have 101 issue, but I'm so single-minded that I'll disregard all the other crap that they're about because they're dealing with a really big issue of mine, and I think that's a bad idea to think. So I just want to clarify, I'm not really taking a stance on the abortion. I was just more using that as an example. So I want to make sure to clarify that to the people. So if you want to say, "Oh, well, are you pro-life or pro abortion?" The beautiful part about me is I live in a state where I never ever had to answer that question. So that's simple.
I can answer that question.
Huh?
So I can answer that question.
I mean, if you like to, you can.
Yeah, this is how I feel about it. I don't care what you,
All right, you got to speak up though,
Janet.
because
Okay. I
you're
said,
you keep
I
muffling.
don't care what Janet does with her life. I don't care what Tattletale Karen wants to do with her life. It's your life. If you want to have an abortion, who the fuck am I to tell you can, you cannot? One, it's your body. The only thing I believe is that if you're with the person that you created the baby with, then you may want to have a conversation with them and figure things out or talk to them just to talk to them and see, what it is you can do. But outside of that, I why would I feel like I should have a say so on the things that you do with your body, regardless of me being a man or not? It's not my place. It's your own body. That's the key word, your body. And while you may have a baby growing inside of you, that baby or you as a person or the other person that helped create that baby, that's your decision on what you rather do, whether you have the baby give it up for adoption, whether you have the abortion, whether you have the baby and keep it. That doesn't affect me. I might be looking at a woman that I don't even know is pregnant and I go about my day. I don't think twice about it because I don't know if she is or isn't, depending on how far along she is or whatever. But okay, this was a personal choice that you decided that was going to be a choice that was going to be for the betterment of your life. I have no worries about it. That's between you, the person who helped create that baby with, and if you believe in him, God, that's it.
So basically, just to make it quicker, you're basically pro-choice.
I'm basically you do what the fuck you want to do with the baby. I'm not
That
pro-choice. I'm not
that
anti-choice.
that's technically pro-choice. If it's in the if you believe in a stance that a woman has a right to do with their body, then that's pro-choice. Pro-life, what you believe is that that entity in her stomach is its own entity. You shouldn't have the right to take away another living being's life. So That's the difference. So if you're
That's like,
pro-choice,
okay, I guess I'm pro-choice, but it's
yeah.
like saying that, hey, I don't want you to give it to this baby. Okay, I understand what you said. Are you going to help me raise this baby? Or give me, no, I'm not going to do that. But I personally believe that you shouldn't just do, okay, but you're telling me that I should have this baby, even if my personal position right now is living in the life of squalor, where I can't even provide for myself. I should have this baby who I know I can't provide for or do anything for, but have them and bring them in this life with me in this life of squalor. That's what you're saying.
Okay.
And
Well,
it's
okay. So here's
no,
another
not you.
important.
I'm not saying you're
No,
saying
I
that,
know,
G.
but no,
Yeah.
I'm just asking. Another important question on it too. Then if that's the case, when do you feel life begins? When will you say life begins?
When the baby's conceived.
When the baby's conceived?
Yeah. I mean, personal. I mean, you could say it's when the baby's brain develops, but in order for the brain to develop, those other things need to develop first too, because the brain isn't like the beginning of it and everything else develops from the brain. No, it's like other things that develop before the brain is even developed. And I believe it's like the brain develops into two separate parts that come together in the brain.
Well, yeah, that's human. That's human. Humans develop. They form in two parts. So basically, that's why we have two halves of everything.
So I'm just like, it's, regardless of what science says, it's how you personally feel. That's how it is.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, I don't care if you hate your body because it's your body. It's not mine. I have enough stress in my life, me by myself, then with my kid and my wife. Why the fuck do I want to get more stressed by worrying about some random ass person I don't know about what you're going to do or not do?
Well, I mean, it just depends on your morals. That's all. That's really what it depends on.
My moral is my morals are God told me not to judge people, so I'm not here. I'm doing my best not to judge people. That's not for me to. I'm not going to be your judge. I'm not your judge.
You
I
know what?
don't.
Okay,
If you're,
you know what? You know what? Since I am not the person who could talk on a religious sense, and we have a guy on the podcast who wasn't
well,
able to
I
make it.
don't want to. I don't want
Hold on,
to
no, no, no,
jump
no,
on
no,
the
no, no, no,
religious
no, no,
sense,
no, no,
but
no.
it
Wait,
is
wait,
the
wait,
truth.
wait, 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 wait. Let me finish. So, since I cannot have that conversation on this level, once he's able to come back, I will happily bring this conversation up again so we can have it amongst all of us because I want to move on to the next topic because again, I am limited on time. So we will definitely come back when we have more of a crew and whenever you're available, let me know and I'll make sure that we'll have this conversation again. I would definitely like to hear that conversation. But I just want to move ahead to the last topic because I am running. I don't have that much time left.
Okay, let's
Uh,
move on to the next
I
topic.
will. Well, I should say the last topic. Okay. So the last thing is, but did you hear about how the computer systems went down across the world?
I heard, but I didn't hear at the same time. Like I heard this shit happen because I had got on to my the thing I get on for my internship, and they said that you don't need to worry about this happening or this is what happened. I didn't know what happened when it happened. Because when I got into work, I was seeing people were talking about it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
So I'll just first I'll say this as a Mac user, I had no idea what was happening at all. I didn't even
Yeah,
know what
same
happened.
thing.
Yeah,
I guess I'm a Mac user as well.
yeah. So I was like, what? So basically, what happened? I guess there was an update from this company. It was I think it was like a security company. It wasn't a hack. It wasn't a hack, but it was an update by a company called CrowdStrike, and basically I guess because of the update that they launched, it basically shut down Windows across the world. So, but I think it was only exclusively to Windows 11. But yeah, and so because of that, and because of that update, it basically screwed up it basically was a problem around the world. And so many things got affected. Flights got affected, hospitals got affected, travel, just everything got affected. And they basically said it was just because one company pushed the update, and when they pushed the update, it basically, for some reason, it screwed up Windows across the world. Though it wasn't just It wasn't just an it wasn't just an American thing. It was a world thing.
No, that sounds like.
What was that?
I said, do you know what that sounds like? You want
What?
to take a guess on what I'm going to say?
Nope, not at all.
I gave you a hint. Starts with an S.
I was about to say hackers, but that's not right.
Nah, no, not hackers. But it starts with an S. I say this a lot in general, and it has to do with computers.
It starts with an S.
The company
Company that starts with an
has to
S.
deal with computers, computer systems, and AI.
A computer company that starts with an S that has to do with
No, not a computer company, but company, company. It's a company, company's name, and it deals with computers and AI.
company's name that deals with computers and AI. Oh, I don't know.
It's from a movie.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not the movie buff here. James is the movie buff.
It's on the other side of the matrix.
The other side of the Matrix.
Yep. The Matrix and this other movie, I believe the other movie came first, then it was the Matrix based off of what the person said, the person who made the series up. All hell breaks loose. People are dying.
Yep, don't know.
It was a movie that came out in the 90s and everybody knows about it, and it still has movies coming out to this day.
Scream?
No, not Scream. That's a horror movie.
I know. But you said it starts with an S. So I'm like,
Yeah.
in the 90s, starts with an S about AI. I mean, I remember there was this one show, what's it called? The Lawnmower Man? But that's not really,
No. The
but that
movie
does some of
doesn't
that.
begin with an S, but the company itself is what begins with an S, is what I'm
Oh,
talking about.
Skynet!
Yep.
Skynet. Okay, I'm with you. Yeah.
I could have told you, but I really wanted you to go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured it out. Okay, I got that. I got there. Yeah, because no, you threw me out because you said movie. I'm like, what? But it's in the movie. Yeah, Skynet.
My bad.
No, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. Yeah. No, well, I mean, if anything, it's kind of scary to think about. That's how simple and easy it is to basically disrupt your entire life and livelihood. One single update basically crash almost every computer in the world.
You're ready.
And because of the fact that we're on the computer like we are now, and a lot of us are glued to our phones and our computers and television and all this stuff, if I think they said it best, if we get one what's called EMP, man, people will probably lose their lives.
That's why people need to switch to Apple. No, I'm not going to say that.
Oh no, because I don't think it fixes the problem.
No, it doesn't. They just have something for Apple.
Do you want to know why I think that fixes the problem?
What? No. Are you talking about why Apple won't fix the problem, or people switching to Apple won't switch it, or just in general what could fix the problem?
I mean, I was just asking in general. Do you know what they could do to fix the problem?
I don't actually.
Very easy. Start taking some of the stuff offline.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
they
like put
could. But some
yeah.
things need to be online all the time, I guess.
Well, yeah, but the problem is we shouldn't be so reliant on the internet because as you see, one simple little update, that's the scary part. Something that simple as a simple mistake brought down an entire networks of computer. That's scary. And that was an accident.
Who's in charge of that? I bet you they got fired.
Yeah, I mean the only one I think I said at the beginning, the company was called CrowdStrike. And I know the CEO came out and talked about it, but I'm just like, dude, That's scary because the thing is like it kind of shows how reliant we are on these things and how one simple thing can screw. It's like I don't know if you ever built a website before, but I have, and I was having so much frustration with my website because I couldn't get it working. It took me 2 weeks to get my website working, and you want to know how I fixed it?
How?
I
Turning it off and turning it on?
well,
That'd be
kind
too
of,
easy, right?
yeah, but no, I went to sleep. I just kind of gave up. I went to sleep. I woke up the next day. I looked at the code and I found out the reason why my website wouldn't work was because of one single period.
That's it. That's all it takes for a period to be off.
Yes, it was just one single period. But one
Still,
single
that's kind of a
period,
lot.
yeah, messed up my entire website. And that's what I'm saying. That's why it's so scary that an entire system can go down based on one little mistake. Like your entire livelihood could be disrupted because of that. I mean, think about how much, like, think about it. Think about your life. How much of what you do is connected to the computer? How much of what you do you need the internet for?
Right now, everything for both my jobs. I mean, I can do it in person, so I don't technically need it, but it makes it easier because I save all the information online because of confidentiality and secure network.
Yeah. But I'm saying like things will just shut down without the computer. I mean, come on now. There's people like think about it, you can't even go turn an application without a computer anymore.
Yeah, yeah, you can. They want you to do everything all in person. I mean, I'm sorry, they want you to do everything online now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just see that. They could take certain steps to proceed to have things done offline, instead of it online, instead of the internet, they could have something else that, but they kind of have that for local networks and everything, but it's still in a way connected to have connectivity.
Mm-hmm.
I, I, I can't say. I can't say what it would be, unless we just went back to like the process of not having it, doing everything on paper copies, or a backup of it.
Yep. No, I mean,
Being able to do certain things offline where you it'd be nice to have it online, but you don't need it. You can, you know.
yeah. I mean, heck, no, I mean, I tell James this all the time, and I don't care how he feels. I am very happy with having the internet. I have no desire to go back to his time.
I like the internet too,
Like,
but I
yeah.
could do without it on some occasions.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Do I think the internet as a whole is beneficial for the human race? No, I think there's some issues
Yes,
with it.
no, yes, the internet is beneficial for the human race. Social media, on the other hand, is nice and it has some benefits, but it's not exactly beneficial for the human race. But that's
Yeah.
how I believe about
Oh,
that.
wait.
I mean,
Wait, hold on. Wait, go ahead, James.
Nope. I said, there we go. You gonna sit there and try to bring me into this, bro? Nah. You guys just hit the nail on the head. Yes. Internet, yes. Okay. Technology is always going to upgrade. That's fine. But in the same token, the fact that the youth is freaking falling apart because of social media, no, that doesn't make sense.
I
So
mean,
yeah, it's completely bad at that point.
okay, yeah, I might
You
agree with
mean
that.
what?
No, I might agree with that with social media being bad over the technology because yeah, don't get me wrong, I love the internet. I would not want to be without it. I have no desire to live in the times of typewriters, even though I caught the very tail end of that, like the very tail
Yeah,
end.
as a millennial, and that's what your mind is prone to. You're cool with that. You're comfortable with technology. People my age and older are like, yeah, it's cool. We were there before it was around, and hopefully, we still made shit work. Kids
Well, you know
nowadays,
what?
though, the problem
I
is if
I'm sorry, James. Go ahead.
no, I don't know what, so I would like to hear.
Hmm. I was just gonna say, I would change one thing that you said, and that would be, I know you didn't mean it in that type of way when you were talking about the typewriters, but I can agree with what you're saying, but I would still rather use like Word and just have a printout of it instead of a typewriter, because that just seems like it's a couple extra steps if you have to go back to delete something. But that was all I was going to say to that specific thing.
I mean, I didn't say shit about typewriters. That was G.
Yeah,
Oh, my bad. Gee,
yeah.
take that. Take what I said.
But I said that kind of agreeing with you. Like I would rather. I said I don't really want to go back to typewriters, so I kind of agree with you.
Oh, you don't want to go back to okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's all I was trying to say. I heard something about typewriters, and I was like, look, no, I don't want to go back. I remember those. I remember seeing one. I remember playing on one and getting in trouble. I'm good.
Exactly. I used to play with one
Exactly.
too.
Yes, but that's and you will not agree to it, but yes, you guys played with them. I actually used that shit. I had a typewriting class. We had to take that shit, and you had to learn how to fucking type. You
You know
guys
what?
didn't stay.
We did
You
have
guys
one.
had fun. You guys had to play. You guys got to play around with them, like, oh my god, what is this? I'm typing a letter.
I did have a typing class, but it was pushed towards the computer typing, not
Yeah,
typewriter
Yeah, that's called
no,
keyboarding. I had one of those too. I had a couple of those called keyboard class.
But
yeah,
you'd be surprised. People don't really have that like that anymore. And I didn't really get that in elementary school. I thought I should have because we did have a computer room. No, I had to wait to middle school to even do something like that.
Yeah, all of us did. I didn't really get. Well, no, that's not true. I had a computer. I can't remember when I had computer ever since like pretty much the beginning, like AOL and stuff.
I did have that too.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to work it. I got on. I went on Neopets.
but but again, that's what I'm saying. You guys remember the game. You guys don't remember having to learn it. You guys don't remember fucking a goddamn computer that you had to. Computers were not fun when they first came out. It was
The big ass one.
it was nothing but fucking code, and it was a shit ton of it. You want to learn how to you want to play a video game? You have to open up a big ass book and you have to learn 17 different codes to fucking figure out how the damn thing works. Just to fucking tell it to start to execute a program. That shit sucked ass.
That sounds
I want
like
to
it
go outside.
sucks.
That shit sucked ass. I wanted to go outside and play. I don't want to do all this shit.
I don't know.
But yeah,
The first computer
you
game
guys
I
remember
played,
fun.
it was like it was like a story and you had to type it.
You guys remember the fun part of those. You remember the game. You don't remember bullshit. So yes.
Yeah, I agree with you, James. I didn't grow up with that, so I can't even make a statement on that.
But that's crazy because G said he did. So y'all motherfuckers must be way different in age.
I grew up with AOL, but I got it a little bit later on because my family was kind of poor, so we got a couple of things, but it was like later on when it happened. But I didn't even know how to really work the internet at that point. But I think James was talking about like when you really have to put in the code, like you start the computer up, you go and you type in the actual code or the name of the program to bring the program up. I
Yeah,
know
no,
I just have to go click on it and it
no.
will
The,
bring it
the
up.
only thing I remember is like what you call like the startup screen where you press F1 or whatever, and then if something was wrong, you go into there.
I remember
No.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. You don't remember having MS DOS and that's it.
No, we had MS
Fucking Windows.
DOS.
Oh Jesus Christ. Okay. Yep, you're right, OG. You're right.
No, because it used to come up and like you. I mean, I never used it, but it was like on the computer.
That's what I keep saying. It was a fixture in your life. With us, you had to use that shit for the computer to work. but you fucking always argue me on this shit. Trust me, at the end of the day, bro, we ain't built the same. Right? You were like, the computer is fun. I was like, fuck that thing. With us, you had to do a bunch of bullshit, and then it was only used for work. It was used to fucking, you had to type a paper. You want to type of goddamn paper? Use the computer. It takes 17 years, though, to execute everything properly.
Yeah, I'm
Hey
glad.
guys, I'm gonna talk to you guys later. I gotta head out right now.
Okay, that's cool. 'Cause I get going pretty soon too. So, all right. With that being said, I want to thank James. I want to thank Adam for being on this podcast. I definitely appreciate it. Once again, if you like this, make sure to subscribe and follow, depending on your platform. Check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description podcast over there on YouTube. Check out the additional links down below if you want to hear the audio. If you only want to hear the audio version of the podcast, we also have an Instagram you can check out. And beyond that, we'll see y'all next week with the next podcast. Have a good one.
Don't forget, every time you subscribe and every time you like, you make a black man smile.